Hey everybody, this is Mr. Steve Wrestling, and today I'll be talking about, obviously, wrestling, duh. Today I'll be reviewing 2024 WWE PLE edition of King and Queen of the Ring, which took place in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. We have 6 matches on the card, including one match that happened on the kickoff show. So, starting off with Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending their women's tag team titles against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. This match felt more like a filler, which thankfully it was not on the main card. Then again, Bianca and Jade are on the main cover of the event, so that could be an excuse of why they're advertised to wrestle in Saudi Arabia. From what I just learned, this is their first title defense for the women's tag team titles, and they managed to successfully retain the titles when Jade and Bianca double teamed on Candice by hitting her with a DDT suplex combination followed by a pinfall victory. Nothing much else to say, but it's cool to see them wearing a pink superhero attire since the audience and viewers will be seeing all the female wrestlers wearing their superhero outfits as a way to obey the country's culture. On to the main card of the show. Our opening match, we got Becky Lynch defending her Women's World title against Liv Morgan. It's funny that we're looking at these two wearing a particular attire in which their attire are pretty inspired by Britney Spears. I mean, we've seen Liv Morgan wearing a red jumpsuit at least a few times in Saudi Arabia, but I've never seen Becky wearing a discount Michael Jackson outfit. Then again, she's the man, you know. The opening match was pretty average. I personally wasn't very much invested into this match because let's face it, how many times have we seen these two wrestle each other, even though I've been trying to invest to see what Liv's new attitude looks like as a way to build herself up into a dark side. I mean, speaking of dark side, as Becky was locking Liv in a disarmor, Dominic Mysterio suddenly appears at ringside as Liv gets her boot on the bottom rope to break the hold. Becky was about to hit the manhandle slam, but Liv counters into a cold breaker and noticed that Dominic was at ringside. Liv would then climb up to the top rope. Becky got up and hit her with a suplex. Dominic brought out a chair and slid into the ring and then distract the referee. Liv took the advantage of the distraction and then hit her with a Oblivion and pins her with a 3 count, and boom, your new Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan. But man, you know for sure that mommy will be so mad for what Dominic did for Liv. I mean, we could possibly be seeing a triangular love between the three. Up next, we have Sami Zayn defending his Intercontinental title against Chad Gable and Big Bronson Reed in a triple threat match. This was pretty good match. These three are no stranger for each other on putting this a great quality matchup, although it could have been the opening match from my book, but this match is more likely elevating Chad Gable's potential on his determination to win the IC title. There were so many great spots and cool moves in this innovative match, and of course there's a dissension between Chad Gable and Otis since the Alpha Academy could be facing the new direction at some point in the future. Chad was holding Sami in a place for Otis to attack him, but Otis hesitated. Chad would then shove Otis and get in his face and then slap him. Particularly, Otis was in a position to clothesline Sami, but it backfired when Sami ducks out of the way and Otis hit Chad instead. Sami would get back in the ring and then hit Big Braun with a Helluva Kick and pins him for the victory. Sami Zayn is still your Intercontinental Champion. I mean, what can I say? Chad didn't get pinned in this match, so it's a good thing that he's still protected to have the greater odds to win the IC title in the future. But we'll have to wait and see what's next for him. We have a backstage interview with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. They basically said that they're ready to defend the titles against any challengers at any time and any place. At ringside, we have a bunch of wrestlers sitting in front of the crowd: WWE Tag Team Champions Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, with BFAB minus the almighty Bobby Lashley. Next up, we have the Queen of the Ring tournament finals between Lyra, Valkyria, and the irresistible force, Nia Jax. This match was basically a female version of David vs. Goliath, which made Lyra a huge underdog, whereas Nia played a role of a bloody beast in this match. Obviously, Lyra has been on the main roster for almost a month, but at least she was able to pull off her determination to beat the Irresistible Force. But hey, as much as I'm not a huge fan of Nia Jax, I'm honestly glad that she slightly made her improvement since returning to WWE. I mean, let's face it, at least her current run could be much better than the entire first run with the company. Hope I don't jinx that. Anyways, Nia Jax did manage to win when Lyra was about to hit Nia with a powerbomb, but Nia counters and hits her with the Annihilator, or most notably the Banzai drop, paying her homage to the late great Yokozuna. She pinned her with a 3 count and becomes the Queen of the Ring. We will see Nia Jax competing for the WWE Women's title at SummerSlam. Backstage, we have the angry man Becky Lynch, who was very furious about Dominic getting involved in this match and demanded to get her rematch on Monday Night Raw. At ringside, we have Tiffany Stratton and Carmelo Hayes, both uprising stars from SmackDown, as we get ready to pump up for the King of the Ring tournament match between the Ring General Gunther and the Viper Randy Orton. And I gotta say, it was so cool to see these two men wrestle each other for the first time ever. I mean, these two put on a great match, even though they both have different backgrounds from their pro wrestling style. I mean, this was no doubt the match of the night, but the match ended very underwhelmingly. I mean, good job on Randy Orton selling the injury, but he managed to hit Gunther with an RKO, but gets a near fall as he was feeling the pain from his knee. Gunther would counter and roll him up with a pinfall to get the victory, despite the fact that Randy's shoulder was clearly off the mat. But boy, this was a screw job for Randy. But alas, congrats to Gunther on becoming the King of the Ring in 2024. And he will be competing for the World Heavyweight title at SummerSlam. And speaking of the World Heavyweight title, Paul Levesque aka Triple H made an announcement that Drew McIntyre is cleared to wrestle and he will be challenging Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight title at the next upcoming PLE, Clash at the Castle in Scotland. Oh boy, I'm sure Drew will finally get his dream in his home country after all. At ringside, we have Piper Niven, Chelsea Green, and LA Knight, sitting in the crowd section as we get ready for our main event, where the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes defending the undisputed WWE title against the United States champion, the Maverick, Logan Paul. And not to mention, we got Saudi Arabian's own megastar Ibrahim Al-Hajjaj as a special guest ring announcer for the main event. This match was also the match of the night, but even a better ending, lol. Logan had the advantage to cheat his way to dominate Cody throughout this entire match with his brass knuckle attempt and cheating tactics. There were some great spots to look at, even though I personally want to see some more epic moments. But hey, it was so cool to see Logan Paul hitting Cody with a frog splash through the Arabic announce table, even though this wasn't the first time we've seen this before. Fast forward to a referee who gets splashed and knocked out. Cody managed to hit one of WWE's banded move, the Vertebraker. The referee was still out cold as Cody went for the pin. Logan would hit Cody with a low blow and then grab his brass knuckles from his pocket. Ibrahim grabbed Logan's ankle and gets pushed back onto the floor. Logan was about to hit Cody with a brass knuckle, but then Cody catches it and hits 3 crossroads and pin him to retain the undisputed WWE title. Cody celebrated his victory with Ibrahim as we fade to the end. And I gotta say, this was a good PLE event in Saudi Arabia. This had a solid match card, continuous storytelling, and overall good excitement from this show. But hey, it wasn't near as great as Backlash France from my book, but I'm sure they managed to pull off a very good PLE event. Anyways, there you have it. This was my review for King and Queen of the Ring. What are your thoughts about this year's King and Queen of the Ring? Let me know in the comments section below. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't want to miss the latest content on YouTube. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again in the next one.